Hello, beautiful beings. I feel like I'm forgetting something already, so we're gonna discover what that is together. I don't know, I just kind of always feel like that though, so who the hell knows? Hi Peach, how you doing? Oh, I didn't minimize that. That's something I can do so that my poor laptop doesn't have to suffer more. What else am I forgoing? Nobody knows. It's a mystery. I'll do that. That works. I don't know. I don't know. My brain doesn't work, but that's not new information. My brother is ill. Poor Brother Bean is very sick, and I think I may be coming down with what he has, because I'm not feeling 100% today. So, if that's the case, I don't know where the rest of that sentence is going. It's gonna suck, I guess is really what I'm saying. I'm glad you're alive at least. Hi, Parker. Good to see you. I'm scared. What kind of project? Why is that related to you still being alive? Is she turning into like a little supervillain? What's happening? Okay, what am I doing on this? That's another question. I wanted to darken up the inside of this side of the log for sure, because I feel like it's not pushed into the background enough compared to the front of the log. I do also feel like it's still a little bit flat, but I'm okay with it looking flat, actually. I've decided just now. I don't mind that. But I was using this color on that last time, so let's start there. We'll work our way out. Do I have anything else to say? I don't know. I've been having a time. I feel like I say that literally every stream though. Like my brain is just a horror zone. Yeah, I can see that, Parker. I do think that, I don't know, my dad calls me the most manipulative person he's ever met. Which I think he means as a compliment. But he also works in administration, so that's like a scathing indictment if I'm the most manipulative. Although I don't know, that used to be true. I don't know that it is still true. Because there's this thing called growth that some people do, and I subscribe to that. But yeah, I don't know. I've just had a lot of strange brain times lately, and I kind of put together why I was being like that last night after my second meltdown of the day. Yesterday was really fun. And I kind of put some of that together, which, I don't know, knowing doesn't help me fix it, but it does help me explain it a little bit. Oh yeah, for sure, Parker. I mean this in the kindest way possible, but I'm also psycho, and so I attract other psychos. That's just how it works. And I think that actually being sane is a lie. I don't think that's a thing that people actually do. Okay, I think I'll leave it like that for a bit and let that dry and then see if I feel better about that, because it'll lighten up a bit when it dries, but I did use some actual black, so we'll see. It won't look the same as the other side because we did it at a different time, but that's fine. I don't think that's that big a deal. But yeah, I kind of glossed over the fact that April is kind of a fraught month for me anymore, which at some point I'm going to run out of months that aren't fraught, because things keep happening, which is super fun. Love that. No, I don't. I hate it. Can things stop happening, please? Because I'm kind of over it, if I'm being honest. Okay, other things. I wanted to make the inside of this sleeve purple. I remember that. We also need to do mushrooms, but I do want to work on the grass a little bit too, because I need to finish the grass. Peach, I was saying that I am also psycho, and therefore I attract other psychos. So thank you for proving the point. much more succinctly than I ever could. But I do need to finish the grass before we work on the ghost. This may be a shorter stream because, again, like I said, I'm not feeling 100%, and I also have a fun thing to do after stream that I kind of, whenever I finish, I get to go do that. So, y'all might get ditched a little early. It's fine, though. I still like you, I promise. But, yeah. Oh, of course, Parker. It feels so early for tornado season, but I guess that's kind of how climate change works, huh? It is a beautiful sunny day here today. We're almost all the way up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It's nice. The sky is blue. There's still snow on the ground, but it's melting. I can almost see all of my back deck. We're getting there. Yeah. Mood, Parker. Yeah, I feel like you and Parker would actually get along pretty well, actually, Peach. Parker is still baby, though, so be nice. Compared to us, at least. Hey, Cap, how you doing? We gotta use Cap's command. One day, I will have a computer that actually works with a thing, so that when somebody shows up, it will do the thing. I know that was a really bad sentence. Don't worry about it. That's just how the brain is working today. And by working, I mean not working. I am suspicious that I'm coming down with what my brother has, and I'm concerned. I mean, this is like the best time for it to happen, I guess, if it was going to happen. Because if I had to figure out doing modeling while sick, I probably would have just cried in a corner for a few hours. Well, you fit it. Brain, please, can you make words come out of my mouth when I'm thinking them? Thank you. Gremlin Bean fits with the Bean Brigade, Parker. That can be like, you know how the Care Bears have their own little names? You can be like Gremlin Bean. I don't know. I guess I'm just Tundra Bean or Katie Bean. I don't know. But we can all assign ourselves bean names. I'm down with that. I'm trying to decide what else I want to do to the grass, because I do want to make it a little darker. It is more saturated here than it is on the camera, at least on my screen it is. But I do want to add some more texture in here. We went through with a flat brush. I might go through with a round brush and make just some more like clover shapes and stuff that aren't outlined. But I do think I want to darken up in the middle here. I tried to leave it light, but I think that's actually going to be counterproductive to what I want to do for the ghost. Yeah. Fun fact about me, because I'm the kind of person who overthinks literally everything I ever do. I literally have a folder on my laptop that says delete in case of death. My brother has instructions to delete that in case something goes wrong. So that's a fun fact about me. No, you don't get to know what's in the folder. You can come up with that on your own with your own little minds. Yeah, I usually wouldn't have done lines for this, but it's for a coloring book sheet, so I needed to line some stuff and then scan it. So yeah, I'm usually not a big background person either. I mean, I don't know if you could tell from like everything I ever do that's just, I don't know, a pickle or eggs Benedict just sitting on a white background, but I'm not, I just like looking at stuff, I guess, is the end of it. Yeah, I feel like there was something else I was going to say, but it is already gone. She is not keeping track of her thoughts today. She is wildin', and that's fine. Yeah, so I'm thinking if I do a darker background and then mimic the same shapes that I have outlined, it will feel a lot better to me. But I also need to not do that too much, or it's just going to feel like a copy-paste disaster to me. That's so valid, Parker. And also on track with your, like, or on brand with your werewolf vibes. Okay. I do want to darken this as a whole. Do I want to just do a wash over top? Maybe I do. I think I do. And then we can go back over with the other colors and do some more. Because I want to fill in the clover outlines and stuff like that with some of my beam paints that work more like wash. So I can darken the background and then do shapes and stuff on top of it. I think that's the approach. I think that's what we're going with. Man, why you gotta make me hungry, Parker? I just ate. What else? I was like, I'm fine. This is all great. And then I sit down to do something and my brain's like, actually, fuck you. Which I guess is pretty much standard for how my brain works. It's just annoying. Do I want to use a bigger flat brush for that since I'm doing a wider spot? That's probably the smart move. It's not really a flat brush, it's an angle brush, but you know, same difference. Yeah, so this isn't like new information, but so my best friend and my mom died like pretty close to each other. So I started thinking a lot about death and how to deal with the stuff you leave behind. So I actually have a Google spreadsheet about who gets my stuff. It is not a will, but my brother knows that it exists and has the link to it. Let's move these. These are going to annoy me if they stay there. But I don't know. Just having to go through people's stuff who haven't like plotted out where things are supposed to go is a very fraught situation, and I'd like to avoid making other people deal with that. Peach, eat something! What are you doing? That's a mood, Parker. Yeah, I don't know. The part of the reason why I was in charge, quote unquote, of what was happening with my mom's body was because I was the only one who had ever talked to her about that stuff, because I'm just a weird, morbid little creature. So I'm just like that. So, why are you typing while you're driving? Peach, no! Do I need to time you out so that you leave? Because I will. My suspicion is that a lot of Peach's online presence around me is just so that I yell at him. I think that's on purpose. Yeah, for sure, Parker. So I was like, I don't know. There's other stuff around that, which we've talked about before, but my mom just really didn't talk about stuff like that, except when I brought up what I wanted. Because we watched a lot of like crime shows together, so we were big CSI girlies, and my favorite show, and like, this is fucked up, but my comfort show is Forensic Files. So I just think about that stuff a lot because I'm one, I'm just like that. Two, I have the brain worms. So I was the only one who like ever discussed that with her apparently, so I got to make all the calls around that. Oh, hello, Grim. I will do that in a moment. I do need to kind of vaguely do this wash all at the same time, or it's going to be really, really gross, in my opinion. Oh, that's cool, Parker. Yeah, I was always, I don't know, we also did like Criminal Minds and stuff like that, which there's lots of problems to be said about various cop shows, but I do enjoy a formula. I guess I don't particularly mind if this is a little blotchy, but I do care if there's like a really hard line between stuff. Did my music stop or is this song just like super quiet? It's a mystery. It's possible that Spotify crashed. It would not surprise me. Oh. Yeah, it just decided to stop playing. Don't know why. All right. That's fun. I wonder why it did that. That concerns me. Hopefully I'm still live and everything. You guys can still hear me? I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going like you can. Okay, good. I don't know what that was about. Spotify just having a little breakdown. That which, like, valid. Samesies. Thank you, Grim. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't gone super hard into the Ouija board stuff, really. We did one at a sleepover when I was a kid, but it was with, I say this with love, it was with one of the most killjoy friends I've ever had in my entire life. And she was super fun and I loved her, but she also was like, looking back on it, we were all probably the same flavor of neurodivergent. Because she was like, oh, well, actually, the reason this moves is because of XYZ. And we were like, okay, can we not just have fun? But I am very aware that I also do things like that, so. But yeah, I have always liked like ghost hunter shows too, but I think a lot of that is just because of I like history. So. And it is very much like a connection to history kind of thing. Yeah, I like where that's going better. I just wanted it to be darker. I wonder if we're having a pressure shift today. Maybe that's part of why I feel crummy. I'm hoping so desperately that I'm not getting sick because I don't want to. I have shit to do. Yeah, for sure. I mean, generally speaking, it's always better to give a kid a safe environment to explore things in than to just give an outright no, especially if you don't explain why you're giving a no. Because especially for, I don't know, kids who like to know things, which can be neurodivergent kids or just because they're like that, TM, not understanding the reason behind a rule means that you don't understand the consequences if you go through with the action. So, you can't really make an informed decision. Yeah, well, I mean, even smaller kids than that, if they don't understand why, they'll do it. A lot of them. I've mentioned this before too, but I was planning to be an elementary education teacher for the majority of my life. So that's what I started doing in college. But I had also done a bunch of working in classrooms and stuff like that when I was in high school and doing summer camp counseling and all that kind of stuff. So I've been around a fair amount of kids. And really, if you just treat them like a person and explain why you wouldn't do something, they generally are more likely to follow the rule. Just because they're just people. They're just little people. And especially once you get to like past 10, a lot of people will just discount a child or their interests just because they are a kid. So if you like actually listen to somebody and explain to them like they're a person capable of making their own decisions, it helps them with critical thinking skills. It helps them with learning that you're a trusted person who won't immediately discount their thoughts. It helps with a lot of stuff. All based around the fact that they are in fact people, which some folks really just refuse to accept that a child might actually have a brain. It's wild. Yeah, well, Peach, it's your kid. Like, there's no way a child of yours is not going to question authority. I'm pretty sure it's in your DNA. Okay, I think that's good. And then maybe I want to make that part just a little bit darker, actually. That doesn't really match the surrounding area. Alrighty. I love Coraline. Again, me being a weirdo. That's one of my comfort movies. Fun fact. I think I mentioned that before, though. Specifically to you, Parker. But yeah, it's just kind of a like, if kids assume that the reason you're saying something is because you don't actually consider their opinions and their thoughts, they're way more likely to do wild things when your no is for legitimate reasons. Yeah, I mean, I am also like this. I'm definitely a product of my parents. So, yeah. Same. I loved going. We had this huge dictionary that had a like magnifying glass that came with it because the words were so tiny, and I loved just flipping through that thing and finding random words. Loved it. Okay. What else do I need to do? I mean, I need to do my redeems. That's what I need to do. I need to not for gore. Okay, I'm hydrating right now. I'm doing a stretchy. I mean, you accept authority, but you also tell it to fuck off on a regular basis, Peach. Stretching. Say something nice about myself. What do I have nice to say about myself today? That's hard today, I think. I figured out a crochet pattern that I was having a lot of trouble with. And instead of just beating my head against the wall about it for a significant amount of time until I became crazy, I actually took a break and then came back to it, which shows growth on my part. Yeah, I'm not interested in having kids either. I regularly say I wouldn't curse another living being with the genetics that I have. So there you go. Okay, the inside of the log here is mostly dried. I'm a lot happier with where that's at now. I do need to do a skin tone at some point. Yeah, and I don't know. I've talked about this recently and at length, but I'm not interested in birthing any children. I'm fine with kids that are older. I'm even fine with like babysitting and dealing with kids. Like I think kids are really cool. I think they're neat. I like spending time with them, but I don't particularly want to be involved in the genetics aspect of that. So, okay. Do I want to do more layering on this while it's drying? Maybe. Yeah, I don't have all the bad ones that I could, but I have enough bad ones that I wouldn't want to do that to somebody else. This isn't going to show up super heavy, I don't think, but it will give some more texture. And I do love a texture. It does not feel like a Tuesday to me for some reason. That's probably just because I've been having a lot of stuff going on, but... I don't know, my concept of time has not been great lately. I mean, it's never great, but sometimes it's worse than other times. Yeah, that's fair, Parker. Color blindness is pretty common though. Especially the kind you have. I don't know. For the height thing, sorry, my brain kind of dolphined into another topic. I'm kind of realizing within like the past, I don't know, year and a half that I'm actually tall. I've never considered myself tall. But every time I meet someone like online and suddenly they say their height, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm taller than you. I'm 5'8"-ish. It's like, oh, okay, maybe I am tall. But I was like the shortest in my immediate family, so both my parents are 5'11". My brother's 6'4". I don't feel tall on a regular basis. But if I ever meet my online friends in person, I'm gonna be like, wow, I could use every single one of you as armrests. I wouldn't, but I could. Okay, let's see here. Let's mix some of this with blue to do a little bit of a shader-rooney. Like that. I will do stretchy. Is it gonna show up in my chat? Okay, I was like, who is it? Hi, lesbian. How you doing? Yeah, the majority of my online friends.
Self-care checkpoint. Do you need to take meds?
Oh, good.
Get some water, some food, take a break or a stretch? Please do so now. Thank you.
I think so far only one person I've met online, well, one person I know online has mentioned that they're taller than me in the past, I don't know, 5 years. Like, I know you're taller than me, Peach. We knew that already, though. And they're only taller than me by an inch. So... Are you having fun with the fan game? I'm assuming so. Okay, I've hydrated, I've sippied. I am doing hand and wrist stretchies. Yeah, my nose is plugged up. That's not a good sign. Oh, you don't know yet. Okay, we're in the process of discovering then. Yeah, that would do it. I mean, to be fair, I guess my mom isn't taller than me now. Okay. Did those. Check. Yeah, fair, lesbian. Fair. Hi, Shawnee. I love the sound that cat makes. Ooh. What was I doing? I was doing this. Okay. I can remember what I'm doing from moment to moment. No, I can't. That's a lie. You're welcome.
Hey there, little mama. Let me whisper in your ear.
Well, I think you've known for a long time that I'm not cheap, so that tracks, I think. Am I good with that texture? Do I want to add more? I don't think that I do. What is the limited edition flavor? I'm curious. I do drink Monster occasionally, but I'm a Red Bull person. I do think darkening some spots on the sleeve is maybe a good call. Let's do that. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Never mind, I'm gonna wind up to a sneeze and then not actually sneeze because I'm not sure if my mic is muted. Hey Butters, how you doing? It's Jess, right? Am I remembering the correct name with the right username? I know so many people online that at a certain time, like at a certain spot, it all just kind of blends together, but sometimes I get it right. Okay, good. I did remember. I also know a lot of Jesses, so it's not a bad guess in any case. Okay, that's better. I do want to darken up the purple inside of the sleeves too. Sorry, I keep turning this around all crazy ways just because this is really too big for the workspace I'm working on. Having a name couldn't be lesbian. I think just about there is probably right. Let's see how that lightens up. Dragons, there's a good thing to imagine. Okay, I think we're close to reaching a point where we lift up the last of the masking fluid off of the mushrooms, which is good. But first, I think that we use some of the other colors to fill in our little grassy bits in here. And then we can start working on mushroom, perhaps. Maybe we will work on ghost a little bit today, too. I don't want to imagine John Lennon. Thank you, though. I feel like there's still like a lot to do on this, but it's starting to look more finished. I don't know. I'm just prone to being overwhelmed this week, apparently, which like I am my whole life, if we're being honest. But it definitely is catching up to me this week. Yeah, I know, PH. I was making a joke. Let me fill in this grass back here. The reason I didn't was because we were using a bigger brush that didn't really work for that. But we are no longer using the bigger brush. I did tell somebody the other day that I would give Across the Universe another go at some point, because I think when I watched it I didn't really get it. I think I should give it another go. Just speaking of the Beatles in general. Okay. The grass is still a little damp, but I think it's going to be alright to do these with. I may also want... Do I want a lighter yellow? I don't know. We'll see. I'll start with these and then branch out. Oh yeah, fair. I don't know. I don't loathe it. There are very few songs in the world that I like actively hate. But I can understand why you would not like it. I don't know. There are many things that I hate as a joke. There are very few things that I hate with actual vitriol. I'm too focused on other things. Yeah, I think this color will work for these just fine, and I don't need another yellow. I will say that Hey There Delilah holds a special place of hate in my heart because it got stuck in my head one night so bad that I couldn't sleep, which is a normal thing for my brain, although it has not happened as badly as it has with any other song other than Hey There Delilah. And it got so stuck in my head that I couldn't sleep, and so I made up my own lyrics to the song, which included pissing in a right shoe. And since then, I just hate it. And anytime I hear about it, it gets stuck in my head again. And it's just a disaster, and I hate it. The other songs that I dislike are because they're triggers, so that's kind of like just a special weirdness versus just like actively hating a song. Oh, for real, Jess? That's so funny. Yeah, I know you do, Peach. And to be fair, I used to be like that for sure. Just because I was angry about some stuff, so I was angry about everything, you know? But I've mellowed in my old age. I mean, also I've done a lot of hard work with myself to make myself be happier in general. You know how it is. Because many of you have seen that happen real time. Okay, I will say that there's a Tumblr post that goes around that says that Hey There Delilah is a lot easier to listen to if you imagine that it's a guy writing a song about a daughter he's estranged to, which is good. Oh god, that's so fair, Jess. Ugh. Yeah, that would ruin a song. Ugh. 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 Disgusting. Yeah, definitely a waste of time, but still hurts like a motherfucker. Oh, I do also have the pine green I can do with this. I think that will add some more fun. Yeah, there are a lot of people who were interested and who end up wasting our time. But you know what? Sometimes they just teach us things. And sometimes the only thing they teach us is that that person sucked. But it's still a lesson to be learned. Because I definitely have a few of those stories too. Although I think most of us do, who do romantic relationships. Hey There Cthulhu! I'd like that better. I mean, at least if Hey There Cthulhu had gotten stuck in my head so much that I went insane and made my own lyrics, that would at least track with the mythos, you know? Versus me just getting a pop song stuck in my head. Trying to decide where all I want to use this color. Because we do have other colors to use too, and I probably should be like planning this out a little bit better, but that's not how I roll, apparently. I only obsessively plan things that I can't control, apparently. I do think I may go back over this with some other color too, because it's drying pretty light. Well, pretty transparent, I guess is what I really mean. Which I knew it would, but maybe I want it to pop a little more. I have a really bad habit of getting songs stuck in my head when people say like completely innocuous things that remind me of a song lyric. Like, I can get songs stuck in my head over nothing. I get songs stuck in my head while I'm dreaming sometimes. It's just ridiculous. Who approved this brain to go past the floor model? Because, like, what? This isn't how it's supposed to work. Let's do another color and see how that goes. This guy, I already pulled the other one over. Heh, look at me go. Forgetting what I did immediately after doing it. How has it been like an hour already? I don't understand time. To be fair, I don't understand many things, but... Yeah, see, I gave up caring about that a long time ago. I don't think this is making like a huge amount of difference long term, but it is making me feel better about how this looks, which is maybe more important. So for some of these, I may want to pull out a smaller brush, which is a little bit ridiculous. But I guess I am ridiculous, so that works out.
This is a self-care checkpoint. Do you need to take meds? Get some water, some food? Take a break or a stretch? Please do so now.
Thank you, Shawnee. I do think today is probably going to end up being a shorter stream. I mentioned that like right at the top of stream, but I have something fun to do later, so... I also have a baby blanket to work on. I started one a couple days ago. No, actually, I'm gonna watch some movies. I've bullied somebody, and by bullied I mean I lightly suggested it, and he agreed to watch my favorite movie with me. So, yeah, I'm excited about it, and also weirdly nervous because that's just how I function as a person. My favorite movie is Josie and the Pussycats. It is a good movie, like legitimately. It's a good satire movie. And I think that if it had been made more recently, instead of getting the live action one, yeah. Hey Cap, I'm talking about you, don't worry about it. Yeah, the live action one from 2001, I think, it kind of got swept under the rug for its very anti-capitalist message with the post 9/11 stuff. But it's so good. It's so good. And the soundtrack also is banging. I listen to it all the time. How many copies of that movie do I own? I have 2 separate DVDs because one of mine got scratched. Yeah, I think I own it on 3 separate streaming platforms at this point. I've bought the soundtrack 4 times. I'm weirdly obsessive. Don't worry about it. I'm just like this as a person. But me and my cousin, when we were little, my cousin is like 4 years younger than me. We used to have a tradition where we'd have a sleepover at her house whenever I was visiting my grandma because they live really close by. And we would watch Josie and the Pussycats and Spice World back to back. And that was like our thing that we did like at least once a year for, gosh, until I moved out of Oregon, because then we didn't visit as much. So until 2006, that was like our whole thing. So not only is it a movie that I think has a great message, because it's very anti-capitalist. It took a lot of marketing money and then made fun of that in the movie, and it's like a whole thing. It's very funny. But it's also very nostalgic for me because it makes me think of these fun times with my cousin. So, yeah. Yeah, lots of reasons for it to be my favorite. And I suggest other people watch it too, because 1, it's a good movie. I legitimately think that it's a good movie. And 2, you will understand a lot of the weird things that I say. Just like the Jackson 5, just like a flock of seagulls. Cool. Yeah, if you understand that reference, then we're friends now, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. Spice World was also like, if you view it in the right lens, is a good film. Like, it's a satire movie. Don't go in expecting anything serious. But it really was like a mockumentary before that became super popular. Also, both of them have Alan Cumming in it. So that's worth watching in and of itself. Oh, that reminds me that I definitely never finished the current season of Traitors. Oops. I just dropped that like a hot potato and never went back to it. Hey! I mean, if we're gonna accuse anybody of it, I feel like he'd be down with that, if I'm being honest. Let's see. Let's try some pine on here and see how that goes. Okay, Shani. I also get the Josie and the Pussycat soundtrack stuck in my head a lot, but that's probably because I just listen to it a lot. Because it's good. But everybody else is also welcome to drop their favorite movies in chat, and then we can all make fun of me for how few movies I've seen in my life. I'm one of those people who always like rewatches the same stuff over and over again. Although I've gotten better about that. One of my things last year was, so I do like a New Year's resolution that isn't really a New Year's resolution. It's like a self-improvement goal. Last year's was to consume more new media. So I did actually watch more movies and TV shows and read more books, which still does not make up for the huge lack of other things I've seen. But we made some progress. And I do try to keep up with that. That's fair, lesbian. Those are both good ones, Cap. I do enjoy some Indiana Jones. I always joke, so my brother's online username is Duke, which was the name of our dog. At the time he made said username. It also has a bunch of numbers after it. So I definitely make fun of him for naming himself after the dog, like Indiana Jones did. That's totally fair, lesbian. I was never like a Digimon kid. I watched a fair amount of Pokemon growing up. But my brother never got into Digimon as much as Pokemon, so I never really watched that growing up. What other movies do I really like? I've already mentioned in the stream that I'm a big fan of Coraline. That's one that I put on when I can't sleep. Yeah, I've learned a little bit about Digimon just from watching like Drawfee stuff, and Karina is big into Digimon, so I've learned a little bit about it, but not that much really. It's definitely something I could learn more about. Drawfee is great. There was a significant amount of time where, to get myself motivated to draw, I would put on their videos in the morning while I was eating breakfast or whatever. Mostly I've become a self-starter. Mostly. There are still hard days, but that's definitely one of my favorites. I love watching Julia try to draw Pokemon. That's like my favorite thing in the world. I don't understand how her mind works, but I'm fascinated. I love how I said I should probably get a smaller brush and then promptly did not do that. Steel is so funny. And Shelder was really good too. It's so funny. I love it. And Julia's art is just so good. I love the ones where they do like art, if you know what I mean. So like when they do like their little palette challenges, or Jacob did a thing where he was doing backgrounds and scenery because he wanted to work on that. I love watching them like make actual art. And then I'm like, what the fuck? Because they're just so incredibly talented. Although I haven't been to their streams in a while, actually, because there's somebody else on Mondays that I watch at that time slot now. But all is fun. I don't like keep up with it because I'm just bad at doing that kind of stuff, but I do pop in every once in a while to see what's happening. Well, I mean, the thing is that her art is still really good. Like, you can tell that she has a really good understanding of what she's doing and how she's doing it, how she wants to do it. But if you try to make her come up with something that she hasn't seen before, she just kind of, like, short circuits a little bit, which, like, valid. Me too. But I just think it's so funny. There was, I forget which episode it was, but she did, like, a fan art piece for Fargo, the movie. I think it was the movie. It might have been the TV show, but it had Margie in it, which I don't think is in the TV show. But that was such an incredible piece of art. And one of the things that happens a lot with Drawfee is they'll start making one of the most incredible pieces of art you've ever seen in your entire life, and then they'll scrap the entire thing and start over. And they'll be like, I wasn't really feeling that one, so I decided to restart. And I'm like, that's better than anything I've ever made in my entire life. Okay. Oh god, Bobby Hill. Yeah. So funny. They're just great. Karina also has a Tumblr that we don't really talk about. We aren't supposed to talk about, but I definitely follow her on there. And have for a while. I think I followed her without knowing who she was, actually, just because her art was good. Her grasp of anatomy, like, makes my head hurt. It's the same with you, Cap. You guys are both so good at anatomy, and you just, like, make it happen. And I'm like, how, though? How, though? Because that is definitely, I guess that's also not really what I'm interested in doing, but it's one of those things where you look at it and kind of squint your eyes and go, huh? I feel like I'm probably missing spots. Yes, there's one right there. I can see it. Right there. Where else? Here? It's just, it's a thing. It's a human thing, I think. To just always look at somebody else and go, wow, they can do something way better than I can. But we all have different strengths. It's not like there's one way to do art or there's one way to exist as a person or whatever. Like, we all have our own strengths and it doesn't have to be in the same spot. And if it was all in the same spot, then that would be really fucking boring, you know? But still, there's some times where you look at something and you're like, huh, how did that come to be? I don't understand. And I feel like that with Cap's art a lot. Not gonna lie. Cap just has like a really good grasp of anatomy. Which is one of those things that I don't really get. Which again has to do with me not preferring to do people in general. I like stuff, I don't like people, which is also true of my life if we're being honest. If we want to get a little too deep with it. I do a lot better with things than I do with people. Hi, Bobby. How you doing? Okay. Since we've done that, I can probably work on the hand without anything bleeding. So we're going to try to mix a skin color and see if I can get something that I'm okay with. I don't know. Some people suck. A lot of people don't suck. And it's hard to figure out which ones do and which ones don't, especially if you're like me and you're just bad at existing. So, pardon for which. I said too many things too fast. I've already forgotten what I was talking about. Am I okay with that color? I think I am. Let's do that. We only need a little bit of it, so this should be fine. Bleeding? Bleeding. Did I say something about bleeding? I don't remember if I said it. Which, again. Yeah, I'm probably also talking really fast and mumbling, so. If I was a smarter person, I might have put masking fluid where I put the fingernails on here, but we're just gonna not worry about it. I decided just now. Because I really think just doing them the skin tone is fine, honestly. Nope, it's not done yet. We still got a ways to go. I just post like intervals. Especially for this one because it's going to be part of a Kickstarter for the coloring book. So having the other photos of the process and stuff will probably be good for the person who's running the Kickstarter, I'm guessing. I don't really know because I haven't done one before. But she has. She knows what she's doing. So, and I'm the first one to actually, like, as far as I'm aware, actually work on the thing. So I'm probably going to be done first. I know she has an art jam planned for... Ooh, I think May 5th, maybe, where she and a couple other people are going to be working on theirs together. But yeah. You know what would be nice? If I remembered how I colored the hand on the last piece of art I did that involved hand. Would be nice. Do I remember? No, absolutely not. But we'll just go for it and we'll see. If it doesn't look good, that's fine, because I'm not keeping this art, so I don't have to look at it for much longer. It's fine. I can pack it up and just send it on its way, and then I'll never look at it again. Man, I was going through some of my old art to post on my website yesterday, and boy did that put me in a weird mood. Going through the early art stuff, it's not like a, oh, I feel bad about my art quality thing. It's a, wow, the people that I cared enough about to make art for are no longer in my life and actually have been pretty cruel to me. And that was a little bit of a slap in the face that I wasn't expecting.
Hey there, little mama. Let me whisper in your ear.
Do I want to add more? Yeah, I do. Alright. I'm not even going to finish my own sentence. It's fine. There's more than one. Two. That Kuro did for me. Very kindly provided me free audio.
Doing amazing, sweetie.
Thank you. Okay, and you don't mean for me to take a break, I'm assuming. I should let that dry before I do that. Actually, I changed my mind.
Bite me.
Yeah, okay.
Go piss, girl.
That one makes me giggle. I will refund your points for that one. If my computer will let me. Come on, buddy. There we go. Yeah, it was just the right amount of like cheerleader for me to make me actually notice when it's happening. Yeah, and it's just kind of a little out of character for you, I guess. I don't consider you chipper in that regard. You are a pretty perky and energetic individual, just not cheerleader style. Okay, I'm gonna want to go back through that with some blue tones to deepen the color. I may actually want to deepen the entire color. That may be too pale for me, but I believe the time has come to remove the last masking fluid, which means I need to touch the thing that has the grossest texture in the world. Well, not the grossest, I take that back. The second grossest texture in the world. This should be dry enough. It might tear a little bit, but I'm not that concerned about it. It's gonna be fine. It's been on there long enough that it was probably gonna tear anyway if it was gonna tear, so we can deal with it though. We're smart enough. Yeah, it's kind of just like we have an arsenal of different voices in all of our repertoires. It's just the ones that we choose to do and the ones we don't choose to do. Because that definitely sounds a lot like my actual phone customer service voice, if I'm being honest. Which, in order to not be taken as rude, I had to like up pitch my voice a significant amount, even though I'm not a rude person. But people tend to take your statements of fact in a different way if your voice is higher toned, if you're female presenting. It's really weird. Yeah, well, I did like choir and musical theater stuff, and I often sang in the tenor group, but I'm actually, if I train properly, I'm a soprano, but I don't want to train properly, so I don't. So I'm more of an alto. Yeah, this is tearing the paper a little bit, but that's fine. It's not that big a deal. This paper is just like, I don't know, this block that I got, it's much more delicate than the other stuff that I've used from the same brand, like the same paper type. It's wild. Oh, Cap. Yeah, so I got made fun of for how loud I laugh a lot in my life. My mom also had a very loud laugh because we both laugh from our diaphragm. So yeah, for a long time, I definitely toned my laugh down, which takes a lot of thinking and means that I didn't like actually laugh for a solid portion of my life. We've ditched that. I don't care if I peek the mic and blast your ears out. I'm gonna laugh, so deal with it. Yeah, right, Kuro? Ugh. Yeah, there are very few things that I have that just exist that I did not get made fun of for. Because I was a weird kid. Hi, Bewitch. How you doing? Actually, I should give you a shout out, Bewitch, because I don't think I've done that the last couple times you're here, but I should. Bewitch is also a streamer. And I've popped in a couple times, but our schedules don't often line up. But definitely a recommend from me to go check out Bewitch. And also, she has those really cute candy corn emotes. Yeah, that's fair. But you do sometimes. And occasionally I see you and I'm like, I'm going someplace, which is why I'm on Twitch in the first place. I can't stop by. Because I swear to God, I collect mod ships like they're going out of style. I don't know what makes me like a trustworthy person, but apparently everybody trusts me. Not that I'm arguing with that, but I'm a mod in like a million streams, and if there were other people who I said yes to, I would be a streaming more. Or a modding more. I know how to word, don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is a little bit, but for the most part, I'm the most in charge, which makes it easier for me. As long as I know the rules, I'm fine. And if it's someplace that I'm always hanging out anyway, then it's not really an issue. But I do have a tendency to take things too seriously, so I treat being a mod like a job. And I've worked on that with myself a little bit, so that I'm not as ridiculous about it. See, that's so funny. So, okay. We're gonna get a little too real right now. My nickname in high school was the Dominatrix. Which may be apt in my social life, but is not apt anywhere else. It's really funny. Really, like, what it boils down to is I like knowing the rules. So I either want to be in charge so that I'm the one enforcing the rules, or I want to have somebody else tell me the rules so that I know what's expected of me. And like, you can break down every single thing in my entire life into those two categories. Either somebody tells me what to do, or I tell everybody what to do. Because I'm so, like, I have so much difficulty with social situations that I need rules. I need to know what the situation is. I need labels. I need to have expectations clearly described to me. It's not exactly a fun way to live, I won't lie. It's very difficult. No, I'm not, though. I'm not, though. One of the times I'm glad I don't have a face cam, because I bet I am bright red right now. Yeah, really, I don't know. I just like knowing what's up. And a lot of social stuff doesn't give you that benefit, because it's like kind of like an undercurrent of you're supposed to pick up on certain things, and I just don't. And I didn't realize that was the issue for a long time. But now that I know, I can ask, because most of the time, if you're like, I don't understand what's going on right now, could you tell me what's going on? People will do that for you. Yeah. Oh, don't worry about it, Shadi. The VOD will go up on my YouTube, so you can always go back. That's one of those things where it's like, should I really say this on something that's going to be recorded on the internet for the rest of all time? And then I realized that I've said it other places, so it's not like a big deal. It's like, whatever. Well, I don't know. It's not a secret. I just haven't said it here before, you know? Oh, which reminds me, I need to make a note about that. Hang on. Secrets. But yeah, this is not new information for pretty much anybody who knows me. Because I feel like I've said it a lot. Yeah, for sure. But I also have like anxiety about asking things because of past situations of my life. So sometimes people actually don't like you to ask things and then get mad at you and yell at you about it. But those are people who I shouldn't give my time. So there you go. That's fair, Peach. I don't know. That's a reasonable question, though, I think. What was I doing? I was writing down a reminder. I'm gonna forget what all of these words mean when I look at that later, but it's fine. And honestly, folding thongs is just... it's a pointless endeavor. You just bundle them up and hope for the best. They can look out for each other in the underwear drawer. Okay, that's probably dry now, so I can add some more color to that. All right. Probably want to do a little bit more of a pink tone over top, because it is looking a little desaturated for my taste. But yeah, I don't know. This has been information that has been known about my person since high school. Like, not that I speak to anybody from high school, but it ain't no secret. And honestly, it's on my Tumblr already, so there are plenty of places to figure this out about me. Yeah, I mean, they just... There's not enough fabric to fold. You just hope for the best. But like I've been on Tumblr treating it like my personal diary since 2011 or so. Oh, have a good dinner, Kuro. Have fun. Have good foods. So like, I probably won't be. I'm doing a shorter one today, I think, because I'm not feeling great and I've got other stuff to do. But like, I'm very specific about not deleting old posts off my Tumblr because the way I think about it, it's my own historical record. Especially for a time when my memory kind of tanked really bad. Partially because of depression and partially because of other things surrounding the depression. But I don't have a great memory for like 2010 to 2014 and a little bit later than that. So I can go back through my own blog and see what was happening, which has actually been so incredibly helpful for putting times down on my art now that I'm like organizing it. But this is all to say this information and more is available on my Tumblr, I guess. There is no secrets. And I guess part of that, this is going to be a weird statement. I don't know. We're going there today, I guess. Part of it is that I am very adept at seeming vulnerable without sharing the things that I don't want to share. So I have things that I'm okay with sharing with people. So I use those and they come across as being like big, deep, dark secrets or whatever. But they're things that I don't mind sharing. So I'll use those as like a buffer in order to not share the things that I don't want to share. So there are still plenty of secrets locked away in the vault. They're just the ones that I actually care about keeping. And I have legitimately gotten better at being more legitimately vulnerable with people that I care about, but it's still like a task that I have to think about. I know I've said this once before already today, but I may want a smaller paintbrush. You do. some of them, but there is no single person on the face of this planet, aside from me, who knows all of my secrets. I am very good at compartmentalizing things, which you also know, Peach. So. But I am trying to be better about that, legitimately, and I have gotten better at it. Because it is definitely, like, a skill that you learn, or I had to learn at least. Some people, I'm sure this comes very naturally, too. But we're working on it. We're getting there. I have definitely trusted more people in the past few years than I probably had for the entirety of my life before then. But I've also been proven that I can trust people by trusting those people, so there are some people in my past who I trusted who did not deserve it. But that's also just kind of being alive, so. Welcome to Getting a Little Too Real. This is the Tundra Katie Bean stream, and I'll be your host. Yeah, exactly, Cap. For sure, for sure. And I definitely, a lot of it is because of how I was raised. Because everybody has certain expectations about how you act. And the way that certain people react to not being trusted like that, you need to find ways around it. So yeah. I do think adding some more desaturated tones to the hand is probably the right bet here, because they're dead. But I don't want to make it, like, too desaturated, but I think having a little grayish tinge, greenish tinge on here is going to be a good call. But yeah, I definitely have gotten better about trusting people, and I think there's evidence of that for sure, because I have, like, I don't know, I do actually have people who have been in my life for a significant amount of time now, and that had always been an issue with me in the past and stuff like that, but it is still, like, work for me. But we can only do what we can do, you know? We can recognize a problem and try to work on it, and sometimes that actually improves things, and sometimes knowing the problem does not actually help you improve things. And that's just how life works, baby. I think I'm going to add a little bit of blue to the tips of the fingers here, which is a sign of some kinds of poisonings. So. Yeah, exactly, Cap. And it's like I get to choose who is let into the inner sanctum, so to speak, and who isn't. Which hasn't always been the case in my past, where I didn't really have control over my situation, but I do now more than I have before. Yep, for sure. And unfortunately, that was not always the case for me, but things change and things get better. So there you go. I did write an absolutely banger line in my diary diary, I call it a journal, the other night that we're probably going to do on stream at some point, just as a warning. I've been trying to write more in my journal because, like, it's good for my brain. And it helps me, like, process things better. I kind of fell off of it for a little while, but... Yeah, that looks like a dead hand. I think I killed that. Alright, let's go. Yeah, boundaries. I also have a really hard time establishing boundaries, which I'm aware of. It's just like, oh, why am I having a panic attack right now? Is it because I told somebody that I'm not into this? Wow, that's kind of stupid. And then you move on with your day. I can put away the gross rubber thing that I don't like the feel of. Okay, I'm so happy with that. I love my concept of color theory and, like, my understanding of how I use colors. It makes sense that I like the way I use colors, but I do. I think I can get a flat layer down on these mushrooms, and then I'm probably going to call it. I am going to want to mix a color for the false morels for sure. I think for the actual morels, I'm just going to do burnt sienna as a base. But we also have some tiny mushrooms in here. I could also pick up some of this green that I put on this mushroom. Or I could leave it. I think it'll be okay. It'll just look a little bit different from the other ones, which is fair, because it is also dead. Oh, a thing has happened. Thank you, Cap. That's very sweet of you. Much appreciated. Artists really are just passing the same $20 back and forth for all of our lives, aren't we? Trying to decide what color I want to start with. Oh, I should also re-ink that right there. There's the brush. The kids are home. I can hear them shouting. Yeah, very true. I just got so much ink on my finger right now. All right. Thank you for that. Ugh. I was actually talking with one of my friends earlier this morning because they had a really cool idea for a product that they sent my way, because they were like, you know, it would be cool and help me out and I would give you money for. And I was like, you know what? I'm actually planning on doing something like that already, so I will take this and run with it. Because we talked about it a while back, where I was wanting to do like a birthday advent sticker thing where you get a pack of like 7 mystery things to open up leading up to your birthday. And they were talking about how it would be really cool to have just like a general surprise treat kind of lineup. Good. Eat something. Just kind of like a general serotonin file. And I was like, that's a really good idea. But the reason I'm holding off on those and why I haven't done them yet is because I want to get a sticker cutter so that I can make stickers for the front of the packages, kind of like how Lib does their mystery pack stickers and stuff like that. And it would also let me make like custom stickers for people to add into those, which I think would be really fun. So soon, and Cap has just helped me get closer to that. So there you go. I have probably made enough money in the past bit to just go buy one. The goal, just to be clear, is for a silhouette cutter, which is like a Bluetooth style cutter that kind of like a Cricut that you can use to cut your own stickers out. It's because he hasn't eaten in too long, and so if he eats, his body is going to want to actually rest. And I know better than to argue with Peach about his decisions like this. But I will say, if you don't eat after you finish your stuff, I'm going to be really sad. Like, legitimately, I'm going to be sad that you didn't take care of yourself. Well, I've known you for over a decade, you weirdo. I would hope so at this point. Okay. Cream is the first color that we're using, which I guess this one will work. Yeah, I know, Cap. Thank you. Please do. But sometimes you gotta cajole instead. I legitimately did eat lunch today because I was like, if I come to stream saying that I didn't eat lunch, Cap is gonna be mad at me. Even though I didn't really want to eat lunch, I knew that I needed to. I don't know. Lunch is just like such a momentum killer for me, and I hate it. I don't. I use mad at in quotations. It's not like legitimate anger. But we all know that disappointment from a dad is worse than anger. Yeah, I don't want to make Shawnee sad. For sure. Okay, which cream colors do I have in here? You go right there. You go right there. Me trying to figure out what the hell I was thinking when I inked these. Nobody knows, it's a mystery. Alright. Let me use this actually to shade these a little bit. Then we can go back through later and refine it a little bit. Yeah, fair, Peach, but I don't know. Cap has more sway over me in this moment. But also, you kind of don't have a lot of room to talk right now since you have not eaten since 9 p.m. yesterday. I'm doing better than you in this precise moment of time. Like I don't try to claim moral victory over people a lot, but I will in this case. Man, those kids are really shouting. I joke that I really wouldn't know if those kids were getting murdered or having fun. Because they're just shriekers, which is totally valid. Kids should be allowed to scream. But also, I'm like worried that something bad is going to happen someday and I'm not even going to notice. Peach, I'm always better than you. You know that. I at least am better at eating regularly. Also, not texting while I'm driving. And generally keeping myself safer than you are. Okay, this is the one that I just re-inked, so I need to be careful. I don't know that I consider that a moral victory, if I'm being honest. It took me like twice as long as it should have. I changed majors, and then I haven't really used my degree since. So, I also think that just college isn't for everybody, and we should stop treating it like it is. Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, I did not go into debt to get my degree, so... but that's just because I'm privileged, so... Because the college that I went to, my dad was working at the time. And back then, I don't think it's the case anymore, family got free tuition, so... And it was priced like a community college, so... A little bit different than most people's experience. Yeah, but VA doesn't really cover everything. And I know because I helped plenty of them at the college bookstore. There are a lot of really weird, strict rules that actually harm the students. which I guess is true of many institutions, not just that one. But I always feel like, what is it, Lisa Simpson? The whole damn system is rigged. That's just me all the time. So I guess really what college did for me was make me hate college in a much broader way than anybody would expect. Yeah. Wild. It's almost like when you run everything like a business, everything gets run like a business, which is not good for us. Wild concept. Oh yeah, good luck with that, Peach. I technically am no longer employed by the university at this moment. Oh, speaking of, actually, that was something I wanted to bring up. Tomorrow is Administrative Professionals Day. So if you work with somebody who is called a secretary or an administrative assistant, or also known as the actual person who runs the entire fucking office, you should give them a little treat. They'll remember it, and they'll appreciate it, and they'll be nice to you. I have scheduled something to be delivered to my person. Right, lesbian? I mean, go for it, Peach. You want to deal with him? I think that you think that there's more sway there than there actually is. It also is not that difficult to figure out who my dad is. Just throwing that out there. Maybe I'm not gonna do all of the color flats today. I do think that the last thing we're gonna do is the ghost, because I still haven't fully decided what I want to do with it, if I'm being honest with myself. So maybe I just need to sleep on it some more and then have a dream where I'm working on it, and then my brain will actually tell me how I should do it. Which happens way more often than it should. I guess that's the bonus of remembering all my dreams, is that I remember when my brain actually solves an issue. Peach, not gonna lie, you're being a little creepy, but dial it back. That's good, Shani. I will make sure that before I use a painting as a pillow, I will let it dry first. Although really, I feel like me waking up with paint all over my face is a little bit on brand. Although I haven't fallen asleep on a painting before. It takes way too much work for me to fall asleep, for me to do it accidentally on something. Yeah, it really is. I forget, and I keep working, and then I put my hand in something. Which is why there's an emote for it. So. See, I haven't done that either. It takes so much work for me to actually fall asleep that I really don't fall asleep on things that often. I've fallen asleep with a book next to me before. There was a time where My menstrual cramps were so bad that I partially passed out in the middle of a class and hit my head on my notebook. I think that's the closest I got. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I did decide what color I wanted to do the false morels. I think I mixed one. Yep, look at me go. I even wrote down vaguely what it was. Yep, okay. I was also thinking about using turtle belly for it. So maybe I want to start with turtle belly because that's lighter and then we can move on from there. Especially since I have it written down. I don't need to figure out exactly what I did because I wrote it down. So I don't need to refigure it out again. But let's, because we have a few over here. There's a couple in the basket that I want a smaller paintbrush for. I changed my mind. Those ones are yiddle. The other ones are not so yiddle. We can do this here. Use those two. And we can darken those up later. That will be good. Alright. I did for a while, like, sleep entirely in hoodies because I was cold all the time. With the hood over my face. So that was definitely one that I ran into. Then I'll probably do a little bit of burnt sienna mixed with the titanium buff for the morels for the base color. That will probably be good. Yeah, I can't say that I've done that. But I do turn into an absolutely heinous and awful person if I don't get enough sleep. And I cry a lot more. It's almost like my emotional regulation is tied to how much I sleep. Wild. I think that's probably part of why I was so bonkers yesterday. Because I have not been sleeping well. Oh my gosh. I know that if you get tired enough, like your brain does micro naps basically, so it just kind of shuts itself down while you're still doing things. But that's wild to me. I don't know. My brain does not work like that. I mean, we can end the sentence early. My brain does not work. But I definitely could not do that thing where you stay up for a really long time. So like when we go to visit the East Coast, it's like what, total of 15 hours travel time, and because of when flights leave Alaska, you stay up from when you woke up in the morning, so you miss an entire night's sleep to travel, and you end up on the East Coast at like 6:30 p.m. or something. So it's like a really long travel time, and it means that by the time I get to go to bed, I haven't slept for like 36 hours. That's not fun for me. I have difficulty, and you're like, well, why don't you just sleep on the plane, Katie? Because my brain is a little demon child, and it refuses to do that. Hey, what? What, hey? My brain doesn't work. This is a known fact. Is that what you were haying? I'm guessing. Yeah, I couldn't do that. I would die. Or kill everybody in the surrounding area. Because, like, even that 36 hours, ugh. And I start feeling like my stomach gets super upset, and My brain doesn't work the way it's supposed to, though. This is a fact. This is a fact. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying that my brain doesn't work the way it's supposed to. I'll put it this way. You aren't in here. So you can't get the full read on the situation. I always joke that if a demon took over my body, they'd just be horrified. And I'd be like, yeah, man, take over. I'm done. I'm out. Have fun. You can deal with all of this all the time. Why is your brain telling me to die? Oh, that's normal. Just ignore it. It's true, though. It doesn't work. Okay. Yeah, that one's going to be quite a bit darker because of the green underneath, but I think that's okay. I don't think I mind it. But let's do some burnt sienna and cream. It's really buff titanium, but it's cream. And then I think we'll be set and I can wander off and go on to do my other tasks with headphones that don't hurt my ears. I'm so excited to get my desktop computer set up. Well, I mean the whole studio. It's a multi-piece excitement, but my goodness. I'm excited to be able to use a different microphone because this headset, it's fine, but it's those pinchy ones that hurts my ears. So I get a headache after a while. Thank you. I'm vaguely okay at hands, which is weird. I'm not super pleased with these hands, but that's not an issue that I need to worry about, really. It's clear what's happening, so. But I have done my own hands a lot. And I used my own hand for reference. I definitely just put my hand in wet paint. Why am I like this? Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Also, I don't know if you were here when I mentioned it, but I inked this whole thing with a pen that I haven't used before, really, which was a risk. I knew it was a risk, and I decided it was a risk worth taking. So a couple of my lines are really weird because it moved in a way that I wasn't expecting because it's a brush pen. I think it's mostly fine. I wanted a fair amount of line texture. Just because I think that's more interesting in a coloring book than smooth lines like I would get with a Micron. But yeah, I don't know. Just I can tell because I was the one doing it and I didn't ink on camera. But I know where the pen went in a way that I didn't want. Which I just tend not to mention that stuff anymore. In general, because I know that if I mention it, people will start to notice stuff, but if I don't mention it, nobody's gonna know. It's just an inside my own head issue, which is much of my existence, if I'm being honest. But it still is one of those things where when you're working on it, you're like, It's almost like my brain is really mean to me a lot of the time or something. Weird. Man, I did promise weird energy last Friday, and I think that I have delivered. I think today has in fact been weird energy. But after we finish these mushrooms, pretty much everything has our flat color down, and then I just get to render it next time. Which will probably be Friday, unless I start feeling worse than I feel today, which is a possibility. But I will warn people in socials for when that's happening. Or what is happening, I guess. If I don't say anything, stream will be on. And I won't give like a day of warning. I will warn you beforehand because that's how my brain functions. So I was always like that when I was calling into work too, which I think people take not the way that I mean it. But if I'm going to call into work, I will call into work the day before. That's just how I function. I don't know. I need any sort of schedule change. I need warning. Which again, I have a weird brain. It is weird to many people, and I'm downplaying it a little bit. Like, I don't do good with a play it by ear system. I need to know what's happening all the time, and I need to know ahead of time. Which is not conducive to how much of the world runs. It's like, hey, do you want to go somewhere? When? Today? No, I don't. I need a written request 3 to 5 business days in advance. Thank you. Because, I don't know. I need to be able to plan what's happening. Which is definitely a brain weird thing and not just a liking schedules thing. Okay, I can put that flat brush away because we aren't going to use you again, probably. You can also get put away. We're mostly doing little baby details now. Although I may darken up the trees in the background. Yeah, for sure. But the level to which it bothers me is not a normal level, is what I'm trying to say. And part of that is because I haven't had that boundary respected a lot of the time. But it stresses me out. Okay. This is where we're ending it for today, I think, because my ears hurt and I want to go do something else. So I'm going to go do something else. Thanks everybody for stopping by and hanging out. It was good to chat with y'all. It's always good to see people.
If you didn't fight me.
No, I couldn't do that. I would explode if I was expected to do something like that. I'm not capable of spontaneity. I mean, if we're being honest, I'm not capable of many things, which is not a bad thing. It's just I'm suddenly realizing while I'm trying to do other things like, oh, this doesn't really work for me. Okay. I got them brain weirds, baby. So if you're into that, I'm your girl. But at least I mostly recognize my brain weirds now. Let me see who's live so I can
Doing
go.
amazing, sweetie.
Thank you. So I can go drop y'all off someplace. And then immediately dip because I have other things to do. It's that kind of day. You want to load the page, please? Pretty please? I do also think that I need to drink some electrolytes, and I think that will help with how much my head hurts right now. Loading, 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 loading. Okay, still? Cool. That's perfect then. If Lib keeps moving their stream earlier, I'm never going to make it back to my original rot streak. Which is not that big a deal. I'm weird about numbers. I'm weird about many things. That, like, we know this. Let me switch over to the ending screen just so that's what's happening now. We're ending. Slowly but surely. We're getting there. Okay, let's go bother Lib then. Oh, Lib's doing stuff with Adam and Child today. That's great. And I can see that Kiki is being a beautiful orb. Yeah, Lib, there are some people who are worth the spontaneity and schedule weirdness, and Lib is one of them for me. For sure. It's also a thing where people who are like that often understand if you can't change that way, especially other people who are brain weird. So like Trisha changed her schedule this week yesterday. And like she totally understands, but it still stresses me out personally, even though that's not nobody's doing it to harm me, right? It's just I have difficulty with thinking that I know what my week is going to be and then having it change. But I've gotten better at just letting that happen and not making it a big deal for myself. So, ugh. Okay, Spotify, why are you like that today? Huh? What you doing, buddy? Why are you deciding to pause randomly? That's really weird, and I don't know why it's happening, and that concerns me. Yeah, for sure. Let me do raid commands before I forget, and this time I'm even going to remember to copy my own raid command, because I definitely didn't remember to do that last time. So the top one there has a follower emote that subscribers can use in any channel. The second one has emotes that you can use anywhere on Twitch. So you can just copy pasta, whichever one applies to you, if you would like to join us on this little raid. We're going to go raid Lib. Lib has a lot more sounds and stuff going on their stream than I have on my stream. If you're prone to overstimulation, then that may not be the place for you. And I totally understand, and that's okay, and you're allowed to just go do something else. Totally fair. You don't have to come with us if you don't want to. If you do come with, though, I really enjoy Lib's company and think they're cool. And Spotify just paused again, and I don't understand why it's doing that. I'm just going to leave it because I can't be bothered. Yeah, Lib is fun, but chaos. Like, Lib is the human embodiment of chaos. Well, the bear embodiment, I guess. Thank you so much for being here. I had fun hanging out with everybody. Thank you for chatting and all that kind of stuff. Remember that you're loved because I love you. Remember to be kind to and take care of yourselves. And if you can't do that for yourself, please do it for me because I think that you're awesome and deserve nice things. And Peach, if you don't eat, I will manifest in your home and steal all of your pasta. So everyone take care of yourselves. And I will see you on Friday or next Tuesday. We'll find out how much of a head cold I get. So thanks for being here. See y'all next time. Bye.